This is Caleb Booker, the Jack of All Strange, and I'm here with Michael, who's going to tell us a ghost story. Should be a good one.
Thank you. This was back in 1996. I was sitting in a cafe in downtown St. Catharines, sitting right by the window. A friend of mine walks by, sees me in the window, rushes in and says, "Do you feel anything?" And I said, "I feel a presence with you." She said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes, I am." She goes, "I think my father's with me." Now, her father had passed sometimes earlier, and she was going through litigation with her family over the estate. So she wasn't sure whether he was really with her or whether it was just wishful thinking. So she asked me if I'd spend a day with her, and I said, "Sure." So we had a coffee, and then we decided to go to her daughter's house. So we're walking down Queenston Street in St. Catharines, and we come upon this old antique store. And as we approach the front of the store, these two guys are carrying out this old pump organ. And she looks at me and she goes, "Oh my God, that's my father's pump organ." And I said, "Oh, your father owned a pump organ just like that?" And she went, No, this is the actual pump organ." And she started pointing out marks on the organ. And then she asked the guys to put it down because her father used to jimmy the thing with a belt to make it work because it broke all the time. So she had the guys lift open the back and she looked inside, and sure enough, there was the belt. This was the actual organ her father had owned. But it wasn't over yet because for some reason she still was fighting it. So we go to her daughter's house, knock on the door. Her daughter opens the door, looks at her mother and says, "Have you felt Grandpa around? I heard his voice over the baby monitor last night." Well, not only had she heard his voice, but when she was a little girl, he used to leave candy under her pillow. And this morning, there was candy under her pillow. So now it's beyond strange, it's beyond coincidence, but she's still fighting it. So I do a tarot reading for her daughter. I say, "Grandpa's following your mother around, but she just can't accept this. It's not over yet." So there's a poetry group later that night. So we decide we're going to go to the poetry group. The evening starts out, we're sitting in the middle of the room over to the left by the wall. The evening starts out, and our friend is singing and playing the harp. She starts bawling. And I'm a guy, so I'm like, "Oh, I don't know what to do." So I wait till she calms down. "What's wrong?" And she goes, "I see my father standing beside her." And all of us had felt something. So a lot of people knew there was something going on. So about halfway through the night, there's an intermission. And this woman stands up from the back of the crowd. Nobody had ever seen her before. Nobody ever saw her after. She never came to any of our groups. Out of everybody in the building, she doesn't walk up to the host. She doesn't walk up to the harpist. She walks up to me and my friend, looks at us and says, "I'm not psychic or anything, but when that lady was singing, I saw a man standing beside her. And it was over." That was what she needed to know, that her father was really with her. And that is my ghost story, a story of love transcending death.
That's awesome. Now say it's St. Catharines.
It's St. Catharines.